Hi
everyone!
Welcome back to Luik Found Grace. If you're new here, I'm Grace.
And I'm Loic, a French guy who found actually love right here in the Philippines.
So today we're diving into a topic that so many people are curious about. The challenges Filipinas face with foreigner, like this guy right here.
Yeah. So we get so many comments and messages actually asking about this. So today we thought we would get real and we'll open about it, about actually what is the the ups and downs.
And hopefully, if you're in a similar relationship or thinking about it, you'd find this video helpful and relatable.
Okay, so let's get straight into it. So what's the first challenge comes to your mind?
I think number one, cultural differences. We Filipinas grow up with certain values and traditions that are just different.
Like,
Like, well, one example is how close we are to our families. Many foreigners aren't used to family being involved in almost every part of life. So sometimes it's feel like balancing two cultures, one where family is central and one where independence is more important.
okay, so I think even something as small as we celebrate holiday is different. For example, in France, Christmas actually is quieter, but here it's like a festival.
Exactly, and sometimes explaining our costumes to our partners can be tricky. Like you have to understand why we have big gatherings and why relatives visit often. And it's not just family but also how we view things like money, works, and social interactions. There's a lot to get used to on both
Yeah.
sides.
I'm totally agree on this, and it took me a while to realize that this as are part of you actually, and I love it so far.
Yeah, next up, language. I know a lot of Filipinos struggle with this, especially if your partner doesn't speak Tagalog or Bisaya.
Even with English as a common language, there's still, like I would say, misunderstanding.
Yes, and sometimes it's hard to fully express how you feel in another language. So it's a Filipina is dating foreigner. Be prepared for moments where we can't find the right word, or where what we say might comes across the wrong way.
Yeah, right. And I think that's something both people need patience for. I remember that you would say something that sounded direct, but I feel like surprised. But it's just a difference on how actually we express ourselves.
Exactly, and sometimes I might want to express something in my own language, but then you won't understand.
Yeah, that's so true. So it's a challenge, but learning a few phrases in each other language, definitely helps.
Yeah, and now this is a big one. We can talk about challenges without talking about stereotypes.
Yeah, you're right, Grace. So I know you face some challenges
Yeah.
here.
Yeah. Sometimes when people find out I'm dating a foreigner, they make assumptions. Some might think Filipinas are with foreigners only for financial reasons, or that we're overly submissive.
And honestly, those stereotypes can hurt.
Yes.
They don't represent actually who you are, really.
Yeah, thank you.
And,
And I know you've had people questions you too, right?
yes, like some people assume I'm in the Philippines just for the dating scene, and the truth is, I'm here because I love the country and I fell in love with you.
Yeah, and for us Filipinas, being with a foreigner means showing people that relationships are about genuine connections. It can be exhausting, but we learn to handle it.
Yeah, and I think it's up to both people in the relationship to stand up against stereotypes. So, all right. So, what about adjusting to each other lifestyle?
Oh, Yes, being with a foreigners often means trying new things from food to activities and all.
Yeah, like eating cheese with everything. Yeah,
Yes,
getting
and
this.
some foods you enjoy can be little bit, but it goes both ways. You try things like balut.
Oh dear, oh yes. That was definitely an experience.
Yeah, and learning to embrace each other's lifestyles is part of the journey. It may not always be easy, but it's helped us grow and learn more about each other. Another challenge for some Filipinas is homesickness, especially if the relationship eventually leads to living abroad.
I mean, I think every foreigner should know that it's natural for Filipinas to miss their family and home. It's a huge part of their lives.
Exactly, and if the relationship is started as a long distance one, there's the emotional challenges of being apart.
So we met while I was already here, so we got lucky. But for couple going through long distance, it's important to keep communicating and reassure each other.
Okay, so what advice would we give to Filipinas dating a foreigner?
I would say number one, patience. Patience with each other differences. It's a journey that requires understanding. So patience is key.
Okay, and embrace open communication. Don't be afraid to share what you feel or to ask.
Really important.
Yeah.
And it also helps if both you are willing to learn each other's culture. Grace taught me so much about the Philippines and the Filipino culture, and I respect it deeply. I learned so much.
Yeah, and lastly, trust in the love you share. Relationship come with challenges, but when it's built on respect and genuine love, it's worth it. And thank you all for watching. We hope this gave you some insight into the challenges, but also the beauty of being in a cross-cultural relationship.
If you are a Filipina dating a foreigner or thinking about it, remember every challenge is an opportunity to grow closer together.
And if you have any questions or stories to share, leave a comment below. We'd love to hear from you guys.
And if you're interested actually to see our next video about how to find the best Filipina in the Philippines, just click here. Bye
And bye-bye.